Hello, thank you for joining with me. We are in A Course in Miracles workbook for students. I am reading from the complete and annotated edition. This is lesson 185. I will go ahead and read without footnotes and then go back and read the footnotes, and I will also do a separate meditation. Lesson 185. I want the peace of God. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. If you could but mean them for just an instant, there will be no further sorrow possible for you in any form, in any place or time. Heaven would be completely given back to full awareness, memory of God entirely restored, the resurrection of all creation fully recognized. No one can mean these words and not be healed. He cannot play with dreams, nor think he is himself a dream. He cannot make a hell and think it real. He wants the peace of God, and it is given him. For that is all he wants, and that is all he will receive. Many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. You have but to look upon the world you see around you to be sure how very few they are. The world would be completely changed should any two agree these words express the only thing they want. Two minds with one intent become so strong that what they will becomes the will of God. For minds can join only in truth. I'm going to repeat that. For minds can only join in truth. In dreams, no two can share the same intent. To each, the hero of the dream is different. The outcome wanted not the same for both. Loser and gainer merely shift about in changing patterns, as the ratio of gain to loss and loss to gain takes on a different aspect or another form. Yet, compromise alone a dream can bring. Sometimes it takes the form of union, but only the form. The meaning must escape the dream, for compromising is the goal of dreaming. Minds cannot unite in dreams, they merely bargain. And what bargain can give them the peace of God? Illusions come to take his place, and what he means is lost to sleeping minds intent on compromise, each to his gain and to another's loss. To mean you want the peace of God is to renounce all dreams, for no one means these words who wants illusions, and who therefore seeks the means which bring illusions. He has looked on them and found them wanting. Now he seeks to go beyond them, recognizing that another dream would offer nothing more than all the others. Dreams are one to him, and he has learned their only difference is one of form, for one will bring the same despair and misery as do the rest. The mind which means that all it wants is peace must join with other minds, for that is how peace is attained. And when the wish for peace is genuine, the means for finding it is given in a form each mind which seeks for it in honesty can understand. Whatever form the lesson takes is planned for him in such a way that he cannot mistake it if his asking is sincere. But if he asks without sincerity, there is no form in which the lesson will meet with acceptance and be truly learned. Let us today devote our practicing to recognizing that we really mean the words we say. We want the peace of God. This is no idle wish. These words do not request another dream be given us. They do not ask for compromise, nor try to make another bargain in the hope that there must yet be one which can succeed where all the rest have failed. To mean these words acknowledges illusions are in vain, requesting the eternal in the place of shifting dreams, which seem to change in what they offer, but are one in nothingness. Today, devote your practice periods to careful searching of your mind to find the dreams you cherish still. What do you ask for in your heart? Forget the words you use in making your requests. Consider but what you believe will comfort you and bring you happiness. But be you not dismayed by lingering illusions, for their form is not what matters now. Let not some dreams be more acceptable, reserving shame and secrecy for others. They are one, and being one question should be asked of all of them. Is this what I would have in place of heaven and the peace of God? This is the choice you make. Be not deceived that it is otherwise. No compromise is possible in this. You choose God's peace, or you have asked for dreams, and dreams will come as you requested them. Yet will God's peace come just as certainly, and to remain with you forever. It will not be gone with every twist and turning of the road, to reappear unrecognized in forms which shift and change with every step you take. You want the peace of God, and so do all who seem to seek for dreams. For them as well as for yourself, you ask but this when you make this request with deep sincerity. For thus you reach to what they really want, and join your own intent with what they seek above all things, perhaps unknown to them, but sure to you. You have been weak at times, uncertain in your purpose, and unsure of what you wanted, where to look for it, and where to turn for help in the attempt. Help has been given you, and would you not avail yourself of it by sharing it? No one who truly seeks the peace of God can fail to find it, for he merely asks that he deceive himself no longer by denying to himself what is God's will. Who can remain unsatisfied who asks for what Who can remain unsatisfied who asks for what he has already? Who could be unanswered who requests an answer which is his to give? The peace of God is yours, for it was created, given you by its Creator, and established as his own eternal gift. How can you fail when you but ask for what he wills for you? And how could your requests be limited to you alone? No gift of God can be unshared. It is this attribute which sets the gift of God apart from every dream that ever seemed to take the place of truth. No one can lose, and everyone must gain whenever any gift of God has been requested and received by anyone. God gives but to unite. To take away is meaningless to him. And when it is as meaningless to you, you will be sure you share one will with him, and he with you. And you will also know you share one will with all your brothers, whose intent is yours. It is this one intent we seek today, uniting our desires with the need of every heart, the call of every mind, the hope that lies behind despair, the love attack would hide, the brotherhood that hate has sought to sever, but which still remains as God created it. With help like this beside us, can we fail today as we request the peace of God be given us? And now I will go back and read the footnotes before I read the commentary. So 373 is here. The world would be completely changed should any two agree these words express the only thing they want. Matthew 18:19. Again I say to you, if two of you agree on earth about anything they ask, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. Above, if two agree that the only thing they want is the peace of God, the world will be completely changed. Yet compromise alone a dream can bring. 374. Compromise here refers to the ideas expressed in the previous paragraph. Because the two individuals are each pursuing different goals, they need to bargain and ultimately compromise so that each accepts a certain amount of loss as the price of gain. 375 here is at the bottom. But be you not dismayed by lingering illusions, for their form is not what matters now. Being dismayed by lingering illusions means having dreams, things in the world you think will bring you happiness, that you feel have stayed in place longer than they should have, and being dismayed by this. The message is to treat all your dreams as the same, rather than considering some acceptable and others shameful. The phrase, "be not dismayed," is found many times in the Bible. See, for example, 1 Chronicles 28:20. Fear not, be not dismayed, for the Lord God, even my God, is with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. And that is it for the footnote, I believe. Yes. And we will go ahead and read the commentary by Robert Perry and Alan Watson. Thank you for your patience with me. Lesson 185, 4th of July. Let's claim our independence from the ego today. Happy 4th of July. I want the peace of God. The purpose of this lesson is to let your attachment to the things of the world, to let go of your attachment to the things of the world so that you can unify your intent behind the peace of God, realizing that His peace is the only thing you ever really wanted. And we'll do 2 15-minute meditations, and I'll lead those. Or you can search your mind carefully for the dreams, which are the things of this world that you cherish. Locate them not by the words you use, but by your desire for them. Consider but what you believe will comfort you and bring you happiness. Jobs, cars, toys, special relationships. In other words, be honest in your search. However, don't be dismayed by what your honesty uncovers. You may feel shame over certain dreams and be tempted to conceal them. Instead, realize that all dreams are one. Of every dream you thus uncover, ask this question: is this what I would have in place of heaven and the peace of God? The goal is to reach a place where you can say with real sincerity, I want the peace of God. And to really mean this, you must also mean that you don't want the things of this world, for the two are mutually exclusive. It also helps to realize that I want the peace of God does not mean I have come to want His peace, but I have come to realize that His peace is the only thing I ever wanted. The point today is to unify your intent. You have been weak at several times, uncertain in your purpose, and unsure of what you wanted, where to look for it, and where to turn for help in the attempt. Today, try to have a single intent. Ask for God's peace and mean it. Make this request with deep sincerity. Make the request for everyone, not just for yourself, for this is what everyone wants. Realize that you are uniting your intent with the call of every heart and with the will of God Himself. And then on the hour, 1 or 2 minutes as the hour strikes, reduce if circumstances do not permit. Do a short version of the morning-evening exercise. Close by asking God's guidance for the coming hour and thanking Him for His gifts in the past hour. Commentary. Kind of interesting that a lesson about the peace of God falls on the day that celebrates a revolution in the USA. Our local Unity minister suggested that instead of Independence Day, we should celebrate Interdependence Day, which I thought was a nice play on words and quite appropriate. This lesson teaches two seemingly opposing things. First, it teaches us that we do not yet really mean it when we say, I want the peace of God, for if we meant it, we would have it. No one can mean these words and not be healed. Many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. You have to but look upon the world you see around you to be sure how very few they are. Indeed, all you need to do is watch the evening news or spend one day at your job or 1 hour. Second, it teaches us that in spite of our obvious dedication to things other than peace, at heart we really do want the peace of God. All of us do. We want the peace of God. This is no idle wish. You want the peace of God, and so do all who seem to seek for dreams. The task the Course sets before us is uncovering and fully accepting both of these facts. To accept them fully, they must be accepted as true of everyone, not just of ourselves. Underneath all the seeking for illusions, everyone wants peace. This is something that is universally true, a fact that can be totally depended upon. It is true, as the line I quoted in the last paragraph asserts, that even those who seem to be seeking for something else. So it's true for even of those who seem to be seeking for something else. They may not be aware that the peace of God is what they really want, but it is true nevertheless. Our job in interacting with others is to remember this universal longing of every heart and to join ourselves with it in the other person, even when they are totally unaware of it themselves. Yet, before we can firmly believe that we and everyone want the peace of God above all else, we have to face the fact that we have foolishly believed we wanted something else more than peace many a times. For if we only wanted peace, we would have only peace, and that is how the power of our mind works. So there must be something or some things that we have valued more than peace. Our first job, then, is uncovering these competing desires, assessing them honestly, recognizing that they are only idle wishes, and letting them go in favor of peace. We want the most amazingly trivial things instead of peace. I watch a young child burst into tears and throw a tantrum because he cannot have his favorite breakfast, and I think the only difference between him and me is that I have developed sophisticated ways of camouflaging my tantrums. I share a house with Robert Perry and his family and another single man, and we often have guests. I have found myself losing my peace over empty ice cube trays and vanishing rolls of toilet paper. I have given away my peace in concern about who last emptied the garbage. Perhaps today we can all stop ourselves when these little moments of separation occur and ask ourselves, is this what I would have in place of heaven and the peace of God? Do I really value a roll of toilet paper more than God's peace? Let me point out one more interesting observation of this lesson. You cannot have peace alone. The mind, which means that all it wants is peace, must join with other minds, for that is how peace is obtained. To have peace, we have to be willing to let the other person into our hearts. We have to recognize their desire for peace equally with our own. The temptation is always to think, I want peace. The problem is with the other person. Always remember, though, if you want peace, you will have it. No one else can take it from you. If you cannot be at peace when the other person seems to want something besides peace, what you are teaching that person is that your peace depends on their changing. This just reinforces the same belief in the other person, and they continue to believe that their peace depends on them changing you. Our job is to see past the competing desires in that other person to the universal reality that lies underneath. However we respond to them, if we are able to teach peace, our actions must affirm to that person that peace already lies within them, ready for them, as soon as they are willing to receive it. We join our own intent with what they seek above all things. By our faith in that intent, however hidden it may appear, we draw it out of them. We give them the opportunity to recognize it within themselves and align their mind with it. It is this one intent we seek today, uniting our desires with the need of every heart, the call of every mind, the hope that lies beyond despair, the love attack would hide, the brotherhood that hate has sought to sever, but which still remains as God created it. Thank you so much for joining with me on Lesson 185. I want the peace of God. Enjoy your Independence Day. I love you.